I'm shooting this on the 30th of October. So we're at the border of autumn and winter. For me, because I'm British, the feeling is that when we cross over into November, we're now into winter. Relatively recently, the Americanized version of Halloween has come to Japan, and it's become very popular. People enjoy the idea of ghosts and witches and all of those things. It's a fun festival. But its roots go much further back, and their roots are in Ireland and the British Isles, especially in Scotland and Wales and the Isle of Man. And the festivals that came before Halloween, for example, Samhain from Ireland or Hopsune from the Isle of Man, are very ancient. And they're a little bit dark because their theme is about death. And death is a very important part of life. We're all going to die. But in the modern world, we often avoid talking about deaths, and we often avoid talking about funerals. But to ancient people, death was a very important thing. Those old versions of Halloween were to some extent very similar to the Japanese festival of Obon, a time when ancestors came back and you could communicate with your ancestors. So, whether they truly came back or whether just talking about ancestors brought them back in some sense, we can argue. But still, people talked about the ancestors and remembered what they did in their time and how important that was. And going into winter, it was a time of real danger, because the winter in Northern Europe is very cold and harsh. If you don't have shelter and food and warmth, there's a very good chance that you're going to die in that kind of situation. So people were very aware that they might not get through the winter. Maybe they wouldn't see the spring. And they knew that old people within their community would die. Well, some of them would die. And those old people had lots of information and experience and wisdom. So it's important to talk to those old people and learn their wisdom, so that when they did die, the community still had those important things. They still had that wisdom within the community. Winter and death were serious things that you had to think about, and they were part of life. In our modern society, we generally think about the present and the future. The present is better than the past. The future will be better than now. Everything is about modernization and innovation. But is that a sustainable way to continue our lives? Should we only look to the future? Should we only look to progress? I think no. I think it's very important for us to look into the past, look for the wisdom of the people who came before us. The past is equally as important as the future. And the most important time is now. And for us to make a good now, we have to think about the past. And we have to have hopes for the future. What are your opinions? We'll be talking about this in class this week. もしこのビデオが気に入ったらいいねをお願いします。Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.